So the fact that I have a bad emotion or bad feelings, but can absorb those feelings and then change them.
Denzel Washington rises forward to challenge Oprah Winfrey, challenging her part in a controversy that might destroy her carefully constructed reputation as a champion of justice and equality in a startling turn of events that sets Hollywood ablaze. But that's just the beginning. Stick around to the conclusion to see a startling disclosure involving Winfrey's own family member that reveals a fact capable of entirely undoing Oprah's legacy. Until today, you would never have imagined what is behind the scenes. Oprah Winfrey's media business has been under close examination recently amid claims of systematic, discriminatory pay policies, especially in relation to black actors. This debate has rocked Winfrey's carefully constructed reputation as a champion of women and social justice. When well-known actress Taraji P. Henson, who starred in Hidden Figures and Empire, became one of the most outspoken detractors, the debate acquired great momentum. Henson's concerns center on salary differences and discriminatory treatment of black actors in Hollywood experience. She says there is a structural problem with companies beneath Oprah, given Winfrey's image as a pathfinder for African-American women in media and entertainment. This criticism is especially targeted. Henson discussed her personal hardships and concerns in an emotional appearance on Gayle King's Sirius XM radio program, clearly illuminating the difficulties she has had during her career. Her moving disclosure revealed a more general industry problem she believes has not received enough attention. When King, famed for her honest yet sympathetic interviewing technique, asked Taraji P. Henson whether she had ever thought about quitting acting, the discussion took a startling turn. For the well-known actress, the question seemed to strike a deep chord that sent off a flood of unadulterated feelings. Henson said, her voice shaking as tears welled up. "I'm just tired of working so hard, being polite about what I do, and getting paid a fraction of the cost." Her comments resonated not just with the crowd, but also with an industry struggling with racial and gender fairness. Henson's complaints are a result of a greater fight many black actresses have gone through in Hollywood, where systematic inequalities often devaluate and underpay them despite their skill and accomplishment. As she clarified, "I'm at the bottom once again, as I never did when it comes time to renegotiate contracts." These comments draw attention to the reoccurring trend wherein black actors find themselves caught in a never-ending loop of establishing their value independent of their success or reception. Henson's emotional revelation revealed great tiredness with a system that keeps failing to adequately acknowledge and reward her efforts. Henson's open comments followed her experience on the set of Oprah Winfrey's much-awaited musical drama, The Color Purple. For Henson, the movie, which attracted a lot of hype for its all-star ensemble and heritage of source material, should have been a career milestone. Rather, insiders have shown that conflicts between Henson and Winfrey plagued the film, thereby clouding what should be a celebration of the black narrative. Although specifics of the behind-the-scenes strife are still mostly personal, sources close to the production point to differences in remuneration and creative control as the major cause of the conflict. Veteran actress Henson, who has decades of expertise and many honors, apparently felt underappreciated even among one of the main performers in the movie. The fact that Winfrey, a producer on the movie and someone who has long supported herself as an advocate for black women, appeared apathetic to the issues brought up by Henson and other black actors regarding fair treatment added to her irritation. The irony is very clear-cut. Winfrey, whose brand is based on empowerment, equality, and elevating black voices, finds herself at conflict with an actress whose issues really spoke to the same people Winfrey says she supports. Skepticism about Winfrey's sincerity as a leader in the struggle for justice and fairness has been stoked by her seeming discrepancy between her public image and behind-the-scenes behavior. Henson's heartfelt statement that she is fatigued captures the weariness many black actors have after years of underappreciation and underpayment. For stars like Henson, the issue goes beyond just money. It is about respect, appreciation, and affirmation of their skill. Having to constantly prove oneself, even after major achievements, is disheartening in its circular character. It also reveals a clear reality about how Hollywood methodically undervalues black women's efforts. Black actresses can find themselves at the bottom when it comes time for contract renegotiations even if they get critical praise and box office success. This trend points to a systemic bias keeping people in a constant state of precarity independent of their achievements. For someone like Henson, who has been a leader in the field, this continuous marginalization is very hurtful and reflects the industry's lack of change. According to reports, the conflict between Taraji P. Henson and Oprah Winfrey during The Color Purple's production became so strong that it permeated not just their professional relationship, but also the promotional operations of the movie. Those close to Henson and Winfrey could clearly see the distance separating them by the time the film's promotional tour started. Sharp-eyed viewers and supporters pointed out that Henson's public presentations lacked much energy. Red carpet events, press junkets, and interviews revealed Henson's normal friendliness and charm lost in favor of a more austere and guarded attitude. Her quiet energy suggested a great degree of betrayal and frustration, unlike her usual vivid presence. For many, it was a clear indication that behind the scenes, everything was not quite well. One such noteworthy instance came during a promotional picture session meant to highlight the cast's togetherness and strength of will. Henson and Winfrey can be seen standing side by side in a fast viral video clip on social media, their body language clearly tight and their grins seeming rigid. The discomfort between the two was evident to onlookers, some of whom noted how their conversations lacked the kind usually anticipated from such well-publicized partnerships. Fans and analysts studying every element of the encounter in search of hints on the underlying conflict generated a lot of conjecture from the video. The story of the conflict between Henson and Winfrey evolved on its own as the film acquired popularity. Some sources in the business said that Henson's outspoken attitude on fair pay and her larger criticism of the way the business handled black actors directly caused the conflict. For an actress of Henson's quality, the apparent maltreatment by a person like Winfrey, who has long positioned herself as a champion of social justice and equity, was regarded as especially disheartening and, for many, disingenuous. The circumstances begged problems concerning Hollywood's dynamics of power, influence, and authenticity. Given her great success, if someone as well known as Taraji P. Henson could endure such harassment, what did it indicate about the experiences of people with less power? And if Oprah Winfrey, who has built a brand on advocating empowerment, was involved in such disputes, it compelled a review of how these stories of empowerment fit actual reality. Henson candidly spoke about the psychological and emotional effects of these events with the SAG-AFTRA Foundation. When she thought back on her path, she exposed the difficulties of keeping passion and determination when the business routinely undervalues her job. Henson replied, her voice choked with feeling, "It's breaking my heart. Black ladies telling the same tale is actually becoming boring. I am weary, tired, exhausted." Many in the business relate to her statements as they feel they are always under pressure to show their value regardless of their level of success. Henson said that industrial decision-makers reduced the phenomena to a fluke. Every time you do something really amazing, the business seems to see it as an anomaly. Like, yeah, it was some one-time event, so you sink back to the bottom, she said. Black actors are always underappreciated and compelled to struggle for respect and appropriate pay, which feeds a loop. Her performance as Brad Pitt's adopted mother Queenie in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button won her much praise and a Best Supporting Actress Academy Award nomination. Henson was paid significantly less than her co-stars, despite the popularity of the movie and the significance of her part, therefore underscoring the clear gender and racial pay disparity in the business, particularly in light of the multi-million-dollar salary earned by Brad Pitt and Cate Blanchett, who acted alongside her. Henson has been open about her displeasure with the $150,000 pay she got for her performance. The variations in remuneration show the ingrained prejudices still influencing Hollywood's pay systems. Henson described in her book Around the Way Girl how this encounter served as a sobering reminder of how Hollywood sees black performers. The industry's practice of paying small amounts to black women even for performances that qualify for Oscar is blatant evidence of the systematic racism still in place. For Henson, it was an insult, particularly considering her performance in a part vital to the success of the movie. The open criticism of the entertainment business by Taraji P. Henson has exposed one of its most damaging and sneaky policies: the assertion that black performers have limited financing because their tales apparently cannot be translated abroad. Often repeated by insiders in the business, this story provides a handy and very faulty justification for the ongoing underfunding, underrepresentation of black talent, and regular underpayment. The fact that this notion is still so widespread in the face of overwhelming data is very startling. Taraji P. Henson said in a 2024 interview with the New York Times about a particularly annoying incident she had during the audition process for a recent production, therefore highlighting the systematic disrespect and difficulties black actors in Hollywood face. Henson, the director's initial choice, was invited to audition for a part despite her stellar resume, which includes an Academy Award nomination and a Golden Globe triumph. At this point, "I'm a Golden Globe winner, an Academy Award nominee," Henson said, clearly annoyed. "So I went in there with a chip on my shoulder because I was like, you will never second-guess me again." Henson's frustration reflects a larger industry issue whereby black actresses are often asked to prove themselves repeatedly, even if their talent and credentials are well established. The interview also revealed more concerning information about the production's treatment of the cast, particularly regarding safety issues. For Henson, the insistence on audition felt not only redundant but also indicative of the lack of trust and respect she still faces, even after years of delivering outstanding performances. Her comments show how even accomplished actors like herself are subjected to the subtle but pervasive biases that persist in the entertainment industry. "I don't take the credit for this," Henson said, stressing that her resilience and success are not only a result of personal will, said Henson, alleging that the production pushed the cast to drive in production cars to the set despite her worries about liability and safety. "I've always been clear that I'm being used." Her comment really speaks to the conflict of being a recognized person, and yet feeling exploited by the same business that benefits from her skill. As more black actresses have come out regarding claimed wage discrepancies and unjust working conditions on set, the debate around Oprah Winfrey's production of The Color Purple has become increasingly heated. The comments of Taraji P. Henson have spurred further conversation and exposed allegations from other cast members, including Fantasia Barrino and Halle Bailey, allegedly subjected to similar harassment. These problems suggest a possibly systematic issue that transcends personal frustrations and creates major doubts about the methods used in Winfrey's productions. Said to have earned a salary substantially below industry norms, Fantasia Barrino is a strong soprano and actress well known for her Broadway career and her performance as Celie in the musical adaptation of The Color Purple. Barrino reportedly received money that did not match her ability or the cultural influence she provided to the part, despite being a big attraction for the movie because of her relationship with the original stage performance. Likewise, despite her rising star power, Halle Bailey, who has become well known for her work as a singer and actress, including her part as Ariel in Disney's The Little Mermaid, was allegedly underpaid. Given that the project was mostly pushed as a celebration of black talent and storytelling, these compensation differences are particularly outrageous. Another important actor in The Color Purple who portrays Sophia, Danielle Brooks, exposed disturbing information regarding the working circumstances during the film's production, therefore fueling further debate. According to Brooks's interviews and industry contacts, the performers first lacked access to their own changing rooms during rehearsals. Given the film's high reputation and cultural relevance, it is shocking for a movie made by someone of Winfrey's prominence to have such a dearth of fundamental elements. Moreover, Brooks observed that food was not given during these early phases, therefore allowing performers to fend for themselves. The lack of appropriate facilities for a project of size and significance not only shows disrespect but also points to a more general disregard that goes against Winfrey's philosophy of empowerment. According to the developing narratives, the cast's conflict and annoyance might be a result of a more general, structural flaw in the production itself. Stories of cast members, including Fantasia Barrino and Danielle Brooks, appearing obviously uncomfortable or nervous in Winfrey's company have leaked. Viewers saw the tense dynamics during promotional events and interviews when the relationships between the actresses and Winfrey looked forced and unpleasant. These findings have spurred rumors of a poisonous workplace, where complaints were either disregarded or not given enough attention. For many performers in Hollywood, where influence and power can define success and possibilities, the anxiety of crossing well-known personalities may be a major barrier. This dynamic is especially clear in the case of Oprah Winfrey, a towering person in the entertainment business whose great presence and broad impact reflect the fears of speaking out against such a strong individual mirror, a larger problem in the business where even engaging or opposing people at the top may compromise professions. Despite their claimed complaints, actors like Taraji P. Henson, Fantasia Barrino, and Halle Bailey exhibit a fear of professional consequences by refusing to publicly criticize Oprah Winfrey. Winfrey's standing as a supporter of charity and empowerment lends even another level of complexity to the circumstances. For many in Hollywood, confronting Winfrey would be considered as not just a personal danger, but also a maybe career-ending action. Publicly criticizing someone with Winfrey's influence might have serious repercussions, including harm to one's professional reputation and a likely decrease in next employment prospects. As Monique, the Oscar-winning actress who went through what she regards as Oprah's fury, shows, this worry is not baseless. Monique's problems started when she declined to take part in unpaid promotional events for the film Precious, a decision that did not sit well with Oprah and her friend Tyler Perry. Monique claims that this rejection resulted in a negative PR campaign directed against her, therefore depicting her as difficult to deal with. This kind of public relations strategies may seriously damage an actor's career, resulting in a damaged reputation and a sharp drop in work offers. Monique's story emphasizes how powerful people can be in determining the story surrounding those who cross them. Being called tough or troublesome may have long-lasting consequences in the cutthroat terrain of Hollywood, where ongoing success depends on keeping a good public image. Monique says that this bad press has helped her to be formally banned from Hollywood, therefore affecting her capacity to get parts and keep her career intact. Well-known people like Winfrey may have a big impact on the direction of the business, and their responses to criticism can be frightening for others who might want to be speakers of protest. Many people are deterred from confronting issues or questioning the current quo by their fear of being blacklisted or publicly criticized, therefore extending a cycle of silence and complicity. Denzel Washington has been a strong supporter of individuals impacted by the porno cloud of accusations against Oprah Winfrey and the claimed abuse of black actors. More than only his acting ability defines Denzel Washington's career. He is an outspoken supporter of black performers' rights and respect. Washington has addressed racial inequity and systematic racism using his notoriety from the beginning of his career. He is a major player in the struggle for fair treatment in Hollywood because of his open attitude and will to question business standards. Washington's stance stems from a long background of opposing the injustices black artists endure. He has often utilized his position over the years to draw attention to Hollywood's lack of diversity and representation. His public remarks and actions have shown a strong conviction in the need for black artists to have equal chances and respect. Denzel Washington's backing of black actors like Taraji P. Henson in the framework of the debate over Oprah Winfrey has been especially noteworthy. Washington has not held back when utilizing his position to defend individuals who have been victimized, even if this means facing influential people in the business. His public advocacy of Henson and others subjected to maltreatment emphasizes his commitment to guarantee that their voices are heard and that their complaints are resolved. Denzel Washington's dedication was especially shown in 1986 when he decided to turn down a contentious part that represented negative and stereotyped images of black males. The movie in issue, They Couldn't Kill, had a somewhat disturbing story that fit some of the most negative stereotypes about black people. The story revolved around Washington's character, a black guy wrongly convicted of attacking a white lady. The narrative suddenly veers dark as the figure experiences cruel types of punishment, including electrocution and hanging, and then returns as a warped sort of hero. Apart from being exploitative, this representation reinforced unfavorable preconceptions about black males as victims of unfair systems or criminals. Washington's discontent with the screenplay and its underlying message motivated his rejection of the part. He was shocked by the laid-back, somewhat apathetic demeanor of the Hollywood insiders engaged in the audition process. Their jokes and laughing at the inappropriate nature of the part drew attention to a concerning disrespect for the influence such depictions may have on viewers and the general view of black people. Their quick discard of the film's negative aspects revealed a disrespect for the dignity and depth of black characters. Washington's unwillingness to accept the responsibility was a major gesture of sincerity and moral clarity. 50 Cent is a well-known and vocal opponent of racial disparity in Hollywood, and Oprah Winfrey's alleged mistreatment of black actors in the heated debates. Rapper and actor. Known for his honest criticism and readiness to question influential people, 50 Cent's attack on Oprah Winfrey and endorsement of individuals who say she has harmed them mirror his attitude on structural problems in the entertainment business. 50 Cent's critique of Oprah Winfrey stems from a larger story of supposed moral inconsistency. He has been outspoken about his conviction that Oprah, in spite of her public image as a champion of justice and empowerment, has not adequately addressed or challenged institutionalized issues in Hollywood. Regarding Oprah's supposed handling of black actors and her involvement with racial problems in the business, this criticism is especially severe. Among the most obvious features of 50 Cent's criticism has been his consistent support of Taraji P. Henson. 50 Cent's backing beyond just public declarations. He even invited Henson to work for G-Unit Film and Television, his own production firm. This action was seen as a direct critique of Oprah Winfrey and her production methods, therefore indicating a readiness to provide Henson with a stage on which her efforts would be more appreciated and acknowledged. The criticism 50 Cent offers goes beyond his endorsement of Henson. Among his main charges is that Oprah has singled out black males while downplaying the predatory actions of influential white men in the business. According to him, Oprah's behavior shows a readiness to defend white predators like Harvey Weinstein at the price of black victims, therefore safeguarding white predators. This charge suggests that Oprah's affiliations and contacts with influential people might impair her will to confront systematic mistreatment and prejudice. 50 Cent discussed Oprah's earlier remarks about his music in a recent interview with The Guardian, which she had characterized as sexist and naive. 50 Cent refuted this portrayal, contending that his songs capture his true experiences and the hard facts of living on the streets. He said that his art reflects his daily experience and that rejecting it would be to ignore the many social and cultural elements in motion. 50 Cent's reply to Oprah's critique draws attention to a more general problem with cultural gatekeeping and the efforts by certain powerful people to silence or marginalize minority voices. Oprah's efforts to discount or disparage his music, he said, reflected a more general movement to stifle and control black narratives. 50 Cent claims that such behaviors constitute a kind of cultural gatekeeping meant to compromise the legitimacy and authenticity of black experiences. His readiness to face Oprah Winfrey, a person often seen as a lighthouse of empowerment, questions the idea that individuals in positions of power are always operating in the best interests of underprivileged populations. Leading proponent of women's rights and social justice, Oprah Winfrey has developed a public character. Her brand has revolved mostly around her great charitable activity, which includes sponsorship of educational projects and her own production firm, Harpo Productions. Long considered as a venue for elevating marginalized perspectives, Winfrey's empire, including her network OWN, as well as other media projects, has the claims about systematic unfair pay policies cloud this picture. Winfrey has openly supported equality and opportunity. Although the charges imply a discrepancy between her public image and the reality some people in her field of work experience, Winfrey's agents have maintained, under increasing criticism, that they follow ethical standards and correct any disparities. Further mistrust has been stoked, meanwhile, by the secrecy of her empire's inner operations and the lack of openness about how such problems are resolved. They mirror continuous discussions on how well the sector tackles problems with systematic racism and inequality. The backing of celebrities like as Washington and 50 Cent emphasizes the degree of resonance these problems have across many spheres of Hollywood. The fresh accusations against Oprah Winfrey, especially those from her own cousin Catherine Carr Esters, mark a major change in the story of the media celebrity. These assertions have major consequences for Oprah's reputation and the basis of her empire as they question the validity of her public image and her presentation of her background. The cousin of Oprah Winfrey, Catherine Carr Esters, has made shocking assertions alleging exaggeration or even fabrication of Oprah's well-documented tales of childhood poverty and suffering. Esters claims that Oprah's presentation of her early years as one of great hardship and adversity distorts truth significantly. Esters argues that Oprah's background was marked by some affluence and comfort rather than the gloom she has so famously recounted. Esters claims that compared to the negative picture she has presented, Oprah had a really wealthy upbringing. Esters claims that Oprah had access to luxuries like toys, new clothing, and other items considerably beyond the capabilities of many of her friends. This is much different from Oprah's public stories, which usually show her as having grown up in extreme poverty and fighting against all the difficulties to succeed. These disclosures call into doubt Oprah's account of her early upbringing and raise issues of whether her public image has been created at the price of historical truth. Oprah Winfrey's reputation may suffer greatly from these accusations. Oprah's genuineness and ability to relate to viewers via her own tales of overcoming hardship have long been hallmarks. Her career has been shaped in part by her reputation as a self-made lady who overcame a difficult background. If Esters' assertions are true, they imply that a manufactured story of suffering may have helped Oprah become famous and powerful. Oprah's public image enhancement by embellishment or exaggeration of her background compromises the genuineness that has been fundamental in her attraction. For many years, Oprah's narrative has been a potent emblem of strength and fortitude, motivating innumerable others. If it turns out, however, that this narrative is not totally accurate, her legacy and the reasons for her well-crafted public character may be reinterpreted. The claims also have more general psychological and societal ramifications. Many individuals, especially those who have experienced comparable difficulties, have found resonance in Oprah's account of conquering hardship. For many who see her as evidence of the potential to succeed despite challenging conditions, her tale has been a source of hope and motivation. Should her claims prove to be overdone, individuals who have looked up to her as a role model may feel betrayed. Furthermore, the idea that Oprah's success could have been based on dishonesty might start a more general debate about the genuineness of public personalities and the degree of story manipulation used to reach their objectives. It begs issues about the morality of media self-presentation and the consequences of showing the public a distorted view of reality. Oprah's enterprise might suffer greatly among other things. Television series, a magazine, and a network comprise Oprah Winfrey's massive media empire. Her brand is intimately related to her own narrative and her reputation as an advocate of honesty and empowerment. If these accusations are brought to light, they could tarnish her reputation and undermine public confidence in her many efforts. If you find this shocking, please leave a 1 in the comments below this video to give us more motivation. Thank you so much for being with us. See you in my next video.